Hello and welcome back to Valheim. Almost forgot the name of the game. And here we are, back once again. And what we have accomplished in the small amount of time I've been just idling until I had all the stuff that was in the smelter, I have now enough copper and tin and thus bronze to make myself the bronze axe. And I went and got myself the leather scraps, and I just quickly grabbed some wood. And this is probably the most important thing to do first of the bronze tools and weapons, and I will show you why, explain why. So if we make the bronze axe, it will consume all of the bronze we have, but it will allow us to do something very, very good. Stack all the stuff away. So if we run all the way over to this way of the map, let's see. Yeah, let's go for this one. Here we have a birch. If we select our flint axe, it says too hard. If we select our bronze axe, we can actually cut that down. This is important because birch and oak will allow us to get a certain new material. Fine wood. Fine wood is very, very important for many crucial things. We got a whole bunch of new slew of recipes. One of them is the portal. That is not really something we have a use for right now, and I do have a mod which changes how the portal works, so do take that into consideration, that what the portal does for me and how it actually works is not how it works with vanilla. I think it should be maybe not as good, but that should be closer to how the mod is, to make it less tedious, basically. But what I want is the carve. This is probably the only useful early game boat you can have any sort of use of. The raft is the only reason I would use the raft, and this is really the only reason, is you're stranded on an island, a really small island with more or less nothing on it, just enough to scrape by and get a raft. In that case, I would make the raft so I can go to a bigger island, so I can set up my starter base and stuff. If it comes down to actually exploring and finding new islands and other places, the first boat I should ever make, in my honest opinion, is the Cov. The next and last boat, as far as I'm aware, is the longboat, and the longboat is the best boat. Now, the best way to travel is actually by portal, but you can't bring metal through a portal and a few other odd stuff, but mostly it's just metal. You can't bring that through the portal, so one does need to have a boat when doing the mining hauls. So mining, hauling, and exploring, you do need a boat. So for now, what we need to do is to make sure we have enough fine wood. Now, how much fine wood do I need for a boat? I need 30. 30. And yeah, and portal is 20 each. And just putting down a portal does absolutely nothing. Because you need, as the description says, connects to another portal with equal or no tag. Meaning you need 2 of them to actually have something to work. So it's 40 fine wood to get a working portal network. And then you have the fermenter, which needs 30 each, and I would probably say 4 of them is what you want. And then it's 5 bronze per each as well. Yeah, we're going to need a lot of metal. We're not going to need a lot of fine wood. And yeah, it might take some time. But the Cov, the boat, is the #1 priority right now. So let's see if we can get all the fine wood we need for that at least. I'm not going to cut this one down because it's actually kind of nice where it is. Giving me a lovely shade during the hot summer. And oh my god, is it hot. It's fairly cold actually right now. In real life, it's not even 20 degrees, but it's going to go way up. It was something like, what was it? 28 degrees. We haven't really had that. It hasn't actually been that hot this summer, which, or at least not for very long, or like even a short amount of time it hasn't been that hot. Normally it's actually, yeah, it's actually hotter. But nope, not this time, apparently. Though normally where I live, usually it's like 25-ish, something like that. Celsius, of course. Now, one thing with which I probably would say is the negative thing about using metal weapons and such, is that if you actually want to repair these at an outpost, you need to have the correct workstation. So to actually repair the bronze axe, I need the forge. Which I guess is fair enough, but no, it's bronze isn't really that good when it comes to durability, so they wear out fairly quickly, or rather really quickly, which, to be fair, is and was the big issue with bronze tools. They became blunt fast. Anyway, maybe I should cook some food. And I'm not sure I'm going to do a run right now to the what do you call it? Oh, yeah, I'm not sure. Oh my god, what was I even thinking about? What was I trying to talk? Right, I don't think I'm going to do a bronze run. Like, I'm not sure I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to do as much of that off camera as possible without, well, of course, without like spoiling the journey too much, because just skipping forward makes absolutely no sense. And however, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do is basically take the cart, run to wherever the bronze is, rather copper is, mine as much as possible, or all of it, or whenever I feel like I'm full enough that I can go back, and then I will run back with it. And basically what I'm going to cut out is me hammering the ground for the copper, and you will basically see me from 1 second I have no copper and no tin to I have copper and tin, but I'm on my way back again. So I think that's a good compromise. But what I'm going to do, if I actually want to make this trip with the cart somewhat manageable and like not as annoying as it could be, what I'm going to do is make a path. So I'm going to make a path. Now, making a path is a chore, to say the least. And can be fairly annoying. But it is totally 100% worth it. Even if, as I do, I have a mod which makes like ground and any modified terrain basically give you a speed buff. Like I have dirt path up in the corner next to rested and the minimap. What that means is, if we take a look in here, active effects, I think. Maybe it isn't. Doesn't show. Anyway, 15% is it increases my run speed, and if I'm not wrong, it also adjusts how much stamina is consumed when you run, like sprint along the road, or whenever you have that modifier. And the easiest way of getting that modifier is by hoeing the ground. That is the easiest way of getting it. Of course, you can get it by placing wood, but that requires like resources and more effort than it's worth. So I would probably say that this is more than enough. One thing you do need to be careful with is actually the fact that avoid any stones and bumps in the road you make, because they will affect the cart. The cart is actually physics, like affected by physics. So it's taking your time and making the road smooth and such is actually a good idea. And what that means, you might actually have to like cut down trees and get rid of a lot of stuff that's in the way. But as I said, trust me, it's totally worth it, even if you don't have the mod I have. It's still so much better. Than not having a road, because yeah, it's just better. It can be a bit annoying to navigate, but don't think my path here is super good, but could have been worse, I guess. This needs to be fixed though. And these trees needs to go. Have to be careful. Yep. One needs to be careful. Oh. Okay, let's see what we can do here. I could just leave it alone for the time being, but yeah. Sort of want to not have a lot of the trees just hanging over me. There's a lot of wood here now. Yeah. Let's not look so intently on how things have gone here. So yeah, let's take our gaze somewhere else where it doesn't judge as much as it could. Anyway, I need to go sort of ish this way. Trying to go as straight as possible might not be possible. You should try to do it. But I would probably say it's actually easier to go around most things rather than through them. So even though especially stones can be really annoying to like get rid of, so certain things might be better to avoid than anything else. So just an advice. And you might have to go over the road more than once just to straight out any kinks here and there that you might find that makes it a bit too rough. Of course, not always possible to make the road in every single location. Sometimes you need to accept the fact that the ground cannot be higher, and yeah, raising the ground everywhere isn't really possible. But something like this, I think. Yeah, I think this is looking rather okay. let's see. I'm going this way. Road making is a slow process. It takes time. But yeah, the time it saves, and especially, and this, since the cart, and I will show this later on a bit, when the cart is, when you try to move the cart and there's a lot of stuff in it and it's weighed down with a bunch of stuff, especially metal, which is heavy, what's going to happen is any kind of kink in like the terrain is going to make it so much harder to get anywhere really. Doesn't matter if it's just a tiny bit further along. It's any kind of like uphill or mountain or just unevenness in the terrain, if you're that way down, can make it impossible to get anywhere. Anyway, what I'm sort of going to have to do is run back and repair my stuff. I'm almost there. So should be soon. So the durability on my hoe is dwindling quickly. I need to go basically straight north at this point. Good to know. All of this is just in the way. Now I'm actually close enough to see the destination on the minimap, which yeah, it's taking quite some time to get there, and it's broken. So what I'm going to have to do is basically go back. Now here is actually too steep, so I can't go straight up. I'm going to have to snake my way up and down this. Now, what I'm going to do is, whether I'm doing this right now or if I'm doing it later, I'm going to finish the road, and I'm going to make sure it's really nice, and I've sort of actually tested the path a bit. I know it sort of works. And once I know it works, and it's like cleared of any kind of stuff along the way, I will probably consider the road finished enough, and at the end of the road I will have sort of an outpost where I can sleep, and I can maybe cook some simple things, and just a very, very simple hut, basically, like I have here. Nothing fancy, nothing big. And but as I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to do that now or if I'm going to do it later. What I'm going to do right now, however, is repair all my stuff and sleep. And then we will end the episode. Very productive day, and yeah, as I said, I will show what I mean with with how the road is going to help, and the cart, and like how the cart behaves in uneven terrain, and how big of a help a road actually is. So with this, being what I will do, I think this this is a lovely image, and yeah, I think this this next episode is probably going to be a bit of talking about the road, how it, like how useful it is, especially when you have a cart, before you have a ships and a portal network, and when you're more or less getting started on metal, which is bronze, on your starter island. So I think with that lovely like button clicked for this video, which would be super awesome and nice if you did, we will leave it here with thanks for watching, goodbye, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.